So something I really wanted to talk about was my visit to the endocrinologist. I know that when I was a kid, I was always looking up like my first visit to the endocrinologist, trying to know what to expect, trying to figure out what kind of stuff gets talked about, and all of these videos were really vague and not really thorough, I guess. And me being a very anxious and paranoid person, I want to know everything that's going to happen. So I'm going to apologize right now. I'm going to be looking at my phone a lot because I have a really detailed post about it on my Tumblr. If you guys want to check out my Tumblr, the link is in the description below. I'll also be attaching the blog post. I'm going to copy and paste it in the description below. If at any point you want to, I don't know, quote me on something or just read along, that makes you happy. So here we go. Let's go back a couple weeks. A lot of weeks ago, actually. I had originally asked my mom if I could see this doctor around the end of school my junior year. So friend Nick, he's quite a bit younger than me, but he got started on hormones way before me, and he told me about this doctor that he goes to. So when it came to the decision between me and my mom who we were going to go to, I wanted to go to someone who I knew had a good reputation. Long story short, we made an appointment but canceled it because we had a vacation planned that week, and unfortunately I had to reschedule then for a really long time after that. And my appointment was on September 20th. So that's a really big deal to me, and this is how the day went. So me and my mom left the house around 11:30, and then we went to the store to see if they had spray paint because I had to do a project, and they didn't have spray paint, and that was a bummer. But then, so we drive, and we get to the medical center. I was really confused because it was called like something hospital, but it wasn't actually a hospital. It was like part of the hospital, but it's like a medical center, which apparently isn't a hospital, but it treats like really specific things, which I think is really cool, because then you can find the really certain doctors that are just right over there. I don't know, I guess I never realized how hospitals worked. Whatever, no one told me. We go to the floor that she's on, and we go all the way in. We had to fill out some paperwork because it didn't get sent to our house correctly. It was really easy stuff: name, insurance, allergies, height, weight, stuff that you kind of know from memory. My mom did most of it, and I was just kind of sitting there really excited. Then a nurse took us into a room, and then she took my blood pressure. She asked me about my height, my weight again, and then asked me about any medications I'm taking or any allergies that I'm taking. Now, let me just tell you, this was like a physician's assistant. It wasn't the actual doctor that I was going to see. It was kind of like a pre-appointment to my appointment, I guess. I don't know. I think she just wanted my info on file. So then we left the room, and she was like, okay, your doctor will be with you shortly. I was like, okay. And then I had to finish up filling out some paperwork that was stuff like, when did you start bleeding? When did you start having acne? When did you experience your first growth spurt? And stuff like that. Some of it was invasive, some of it not really, but totally understandable about how they need all that information. So then, Grayson, and then I was like, oh, and I swear to God, my heart skipped a beat. The room they took us into was kind of in the back, but it was just like a doctor's office. You have the bed and then the two chairs next to it, and then the little desk thing for her. It had like a giant TV monitor on it, but that was the computer. I thought that was super bizarre though. So we sat on the chairs they had out for us, and we waited until the doctor came in. And then she said hi. She asked me my name, my pronouns, if my family was accepting or not, my expectations about going on T, how I see myself in the future, and then small talk about other things like college. And then she asked my mom a few questions about where she is in the process, and my mom said she supported me. Further detail, some of the questions she asked me were like, well, what kind of effects are you looking forward to getting? And I said facial hair, the deepening of my voice, a more outwardly masculine appearance. And then when she said, well, what about acne? What about this? What about that? And I was like, I'm okay with that 110%. Even the bad stuff, give it to me, please. So after we went through that, she decided to take my mom out of the room, and me and her were just gonna have a talk. So then she asked if I ever self-harmed or if I struggled with anxiety, if I struggled with depression. Then we talked about the dangers of tea, what changes, what doesn't, into more detail, because we kind of discussed it earlier with my mom, but I think she wanted a chance to talk to me about it without kind of scaring my mom. Then we talked about future surgery. So then we talked about what kind of future Then we talked about what kind of future surgeries I might be interested in, and if I was, and about biological children. And then she asked me to take off my pants and stuff so she could check downstairs. And usually I wouldn't include that in a video that's going online, but I think it's important for everyone to know. She did ask me if I was okay with that, and I said yes, that's fine. So she did a kind of like a physical check. She does like the breathing exercises where they put the stethoscope on your back and your heart, and then she checks to see if top surgery wise, if you're probably going to be needing double incision or keyhole. If you don't know what that is, I'll make a video about it in the future. But basically she told me that I need a double incision, which I understand. I have big titties, I get it. Then she was really nice. She was really nice and kept asking, like, oh, is this okay? Is this okay? And I was like, it's fine. Thank you for asking. She was so respectful, so proper and polite, and her manner, she just has so much like etiquette, like trans etiquette, I guess. She was phenomenal. Absolutely, I loved her. So then she asked me if I was in a relationship, and then after we talked about relationship-wise, so then she asked me if I was in a relationship, and we talked about that for a little bit. And then I left the room, and my mom went in. And then when I was in the waiting room, I just kind of sat around and took pictures of the architecture, because I'm an architecture nerd. I love it, and the building was absolutely gorgeous. Later on, I did ask my mom what kind of questions Dr. Chin had asked her about, and she asked questions like, when did Grayson come out to you? How do you feel about this? And so on and so forth. Then I got called back in with my mom and basically went over everything again, but just kind of to make sure all the bases were covered. We didn't have any other questions. And then she gave us some resources about testosterone, even though I already know everything. And I think that part was mostly for my mom, because sometimes you don't really know what information is true. And I mean, my mom hasn't had the past 5 years to research everything about it, so I totally get it. And then she said that I should go over with my dad, which is a whole nother story, and then we ended the meeting with her telling me that my follow-up is in 4 weeks, which is really great for like endocrinologists. It can take a really long time to schedule follow-up appointments. And then during that, I should be receiving my prescription after I fill out some more paperwork. I should be receiving my prescription, and I will be learning how to do the injections. The type of injections that are possible, that she told me that I have a choice with right now, are intramuscular or under the skin. The difference is about a needle that's this big and a needle that's this big. So of course I'm going with the tiny needle. It's a lot less painful. It goes under the skin basically anywhere, and that I think just works out better for me. I'm not a massive fan of needles. Some of the things I need before and after was I needed my heights and weights chart from when I was like a kid to now from my pediatrician slash family doctor. I needed to find out my immunization records, and I think I needed to get like, I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to give wrong information, but I know I needed to get updated on some of my shots in order for me to do this appointment. And then now I need to get, like I said, more paperwork signed. All of the paperwork that I have to do is medical history and like kind of like permission stuff, and I understand the consequences of yada yada yada. Other stuff is like insurance paperwork. I also had to get a blood test done before my original appointment. That's what they said, but I don't know if it was actually necessary because we never actually talked about it. However, I super duper highly suggest you get a blood test before you make the appointment, and then you're gonna need a blood test after you make the appointment. That's just what they told me. I can't explain to you why. I'm not the doctor, people. I didn't spend like $400,000 on my college experience yet I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please check out my other videos if you haven't already. I've been growing a beard. If you guys haven't seen those videos, definitely please check them out. The results are kind of astonishing. Thank you so much for watching. Please, if you have any comments, comment down below, ask me any questions, DM me, follow my social media. Please share your experiences with me, and if this video helped you out in any way, give me a like so I can know about it a lot. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.